Yo, it's your boy the Purist and we're here to talk boxing. Gennady Golovkin stopped Steve Rolls in the 4th round of their contest. Now, I want to first start off by saying Steve Rolls, he wasn't as bad as many of us thought. He actually came to fight, was prepared, he seemingly had a game plan. He wanted to pot shot, hit off a few combinations that he knew would work against Golovkin, like the jab, right hand, jab combination that caught Golovkin a few times and knocked his head back. I thought this was going to be like a Bruce Seldon situation where he just came in against Mike Tyson, had no plan to win and actually did decent. So we weren't wrong about the kind of opponent he had, but the only thing was it was abundantly clear that Steve Rolls was not a world-class fighter. You know, people say A-class fighter, B-class, C-class. Rolls was possibly D, C minus, something like that, and he actually gave Golovkin trouble, which is not good, to be honest with you. Now, at no moment during this fight did Golovkin look worried or uncomfortable or didn't look like he was going to win, but against an opponent like this, you want to see a flawless performance, you want to see an excellent performance. You don't want to see him give away rounds. He definitely lost, I think it was the 2nd or the 3rd round, and maybe he even lost 2 rounds out of the 4. But that's not the best sign. It was not a great performance from Golovkin, but he showed his power, he showed what he's trying to do with his new trainer, and hopefully going forward he looks better. One thing we can safely say is Golovkin has slowed down. It's not like, oh, he's a shot fighter, but watch Golovkin versus Monroe and then watch this fight. Even in the Monroe fight, he took punches unnecessarily, but you could just see his timing, his speed, just everything seems to be a few ticks slower than it was back then. He doesn't seem to be that same fighter, although he's still very good. He's not what he used to be. Of course, your 37-year-old self versus your 32-year-old self, it's not going to be the same. It's just impossible. Even Floyd Mayweather slowed down, but he added new wrinkles to his game to improve it. He would throw less punches, he would use more movement, stay on the ropes a little bit longer, pot shot, just make small tiny adjustments to where his career can prolong. Golovkin, on the other hand, he took punches, he was very lax in his defense, he didn't add any new wrinkles to his game really. We didn't really see much new. The only difference he made was sometimes he'd go forward, sometimes he'd go back, and that was literally the only difference to his game plan. And he'll jab more or jab less. He didn't really add wrinkles to his game, which I think has hurt him in his regression, because once you're not that same fighter, you can't rely on those same things. You can't rely on, especially when it's your chin, you can't just rely on your chin to get you through fights. That's not how it's going to work. Moving forward, Gennady Golovkin has made it clear that the only person he wants to fight is Canelo. He made it clear after the fight. He even said, when the interviewer asked him who you want to fight, he said, you guys already know. So only one guy, whenever you're ready, come talk to me, Canelo. Oscar De La Hoya, of course, comes out and says, you can't face Canelo after facing Steve Rolls. I almost forgot his name. You can't face Canelo after facing Steve Rolls. So what I'll say to that is, under normal circumstances, I would agree, but you have to take this into consideration. Golovkin, right, arguably the longest reigning middleweight champion of all time. I know it's a WBA interim and the regular title, but arguably, I don't believe so, but he is one of the longest reigning middleweights, the longest reigning of our era, the 2nd biggest draw in the middleweight division. He gave Canelo the chance and the belts. He's a pound for pound top 10 fighter, and the worst thing of all, for Canelo to fight GGG, the fight before that, he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at a catch weight of 164.5 pounds to win the Cinco de Mayo catchweight belt. You are not allowed to talk about who he has to fight to get that opportunity. You was fighting, come on man, you was fighting Julio Cesar Chavez at a catchweight for the Cinco de Mayo belt. You're not one to talk. Now, of course, me personally, I don't even want to see that fight. I want to see the undisputed fight, Golovkin versus Andrade. There's a lot of top middleweights, just see them mix it all up. I don't just want to constantly see Canelo GGG, Canelo GGG. They'll fight the 3rd time, whoever wins, and they'll, oh, let's see the 4th one. I'm not about that. It's gonna be like Marquez versus Pacquiao. That's not good. I just want to see all the top guys just mix it up, see who wins. Look at the heavyweight division. You see Andy Ruiz beat Joshua. Of course, Ruiz was an underdog, but he was still a live opponent, a top guy, and you never know what could happen. Against Andrade, you never know what could happen. A lot of people will be picking Andrade to beat GGG, so it will bring excitement to the sport to have the top guys facing each other, obviously, as opposed to the likes of Steve Rolls and whoever else could fight apart from Canelo. So Oscar, don't throw stones in a glass house. Golovkin doesn't need to earn a shot at Canelo. What he's done, his legacy, what I believe to be a Hall of Fame career, is enough to get the fight with Canelo. Other possible matchups for Golovkin include Billy Joe Saunders up at 168 pounds. He recently beat someone that I can't remember his name. I don't want to remember his name, but he's got the WBO belt. He can become a 2-weight champion with that one. Callum Smith, 168 pounder, who I want everyone. If you want to take your L, go face Callum Smith. He's that good. I believe Canelo gives Smith a lot of problems. I see that's a 50-50 fight, but the Golovkin I saw last time out against Smith, I just don't see it. Smith has an excellent jab and good timing, and his size, his girth and size and height and reach is all wrong for Golovkin, who's a jab first kind of guy. And on the inside, Callum Smith, it's freaky how good he is on the inside for someone so tall and big. So him on the inside versus Golovkin, I don't think it ends well for Golovkin. And Smith has a kind of power where you don't want to play. Against Canelo, against Jacobs, against Lemieux, we saw Golovkin is wary against power punches. If he feels the power of Callum Smith and he's wary, he's not going to let his hands go. Maybe pumping behind that jab against a much longer, taller opponent, it's not going to be good for him. So I think he'll stay away from Smith. Saunders would be a good one. Andrade, as I've said, but he's made it clear he doesn't really want to fight Andrade, so it's a tough one. I'm going to see him against Canelo, but I'd really like to see him against other guys as well. You can't just have your whole legacy is everyone ducked me, I fought Jacobs, and I continue to fight Canelo. We need to see you fight some other top guys. Just add to your legacy and build on it. Don't just rely on Canelo. Oscar even put a hashtag, Canelo is your boss, and that's how it's moving. Like whenever Canelo says, oi, GGG, come here, let's fight, it happens. Instead of him taking control of his own career and saying, oh, I'm fighting him and him, I'll fight you when I want to fight you, not when you want to fight me. Understand what I'm trying to say? So you shouldn't just chase that Canelo money. I understand that you want to chase money and you want to make the most that you can, but sometimes once you've had that money and you've had the bitter taste of you had the draw and then you went straight back into it, you think you won but you got a loss and you want to go straight back into it, it's going to be the same way. Canelo's improving, Golovkin is reclining. That's what happens when you're in your prime and you're 37. One's going to improve, one's going to get worse. I don't see how Golovkin can make the necessary improvements to beat Canelo whilst Canelo is improving and getting better. I just don't see it. Let me know what you think. Can GGG pull it off in the rematch, or a trilogy fight? Can he win enough rounds for the judges to actually give it to him? Let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.